Do you have someone to watch this video with? Well, gather whoever you can because these top 10 scary videos are way too scary to watch alone. Number 10. Yokai sighting. In Japanese folklore, yokai are entities or spirits that appear in a range of manifestations, from shapeshifters to humanoid figures to inanimate objects to creatures with animal features. They also exhibit a range of behaviors from mischievous and malevolent to helpful or friendly. What type will this yokai be? Posted in June of 2020 by Sandbox10. I was unable to track down the origin of this video, but I assume it is from Japan. This creepy clip shows a yokai of the invisible turned humanoid variety. According to the upload, this man lives in an apartment with his girlfriend in Tokyo, and strange things keep occurring in their home. In the clip, he enters his kitchen to find a load of dishes scattered across the ground. Notably, none are broken. The dishes start moving across the ground in all directions. Some on the counter even hop up into the air with one clattering to the floor. The man and his girlfriend wonder if it could be an aftershock, but the way in which those plates were moving around was clearly not natural. After the man picks up some of the dishes off the floor, he stands up and this face appears inches behind him. Yokai. His girlfriend shrieks and flees the scene. What happened to this couple after this video was taken remains a mystery. Number 9. Shark grab. Jaws has met its match with this crazy shark man. Filmed and published by Rachel Foster. The shark in question was grabbed by a swimmer who somehow held this enormous beast steadily while pulling up the shark's snout to reveal its frightening jaws. The video was taken at Delaware's Cape Henlopen State Park Beach. It's notable that the catch and release of a shark is legal in Delaware. According to law, some types of shark in this area, including sandbar sharks and sand tiger sharks, must immediately be released as they are endangered. Regardless, many unaware viewers criticize what they saw as the man's brash actions, while those in the videos can be heard screaming and gasping as the man pries the shark's jaw and so he can smile for the camera. According to the video's uploader, the swimmer's friend had caught the shark and he swam over to get the hook out of his mouth in order to release it. The viral video elicited some surprised responses that the size of the shark wasn't as big, and some viewers were surprised that the man held it with his bare hands. Would you have the courage or the strength to pry this big shark's jaw open? I know. A shark. Number 8. UAP sighting. Is this a UAP or simply a blimp? This unidentified aerial phenomenon was published in July of 2021. The footage shows a saucer-shaped UFO slowly descending amongst city skyscrapers. It appears to be headed towards a water landing, but the clip ends before we can see if it landed or submerged, or did something completely unexpected. Some of the comments think it might be a blimp or a balloon, but others counter that it's simply moving too fast to be either. It is now common knowledge that many military pilots around the world are required to report UFOs and UAPs, which are then investigated by military personnel. It's unclear if this sighting was ever investigated, but if it was, we want to know the findings. Number 7. Haunted toilet. If you want some bathroom privacy, don't visit this one. This scary video will make you a true believer. Filmed and originally posted by Mellowbird. D-Dark Path re-uploaded this clip in July of 2021. The 1-minute clip shows a burst of aggression within the bathroom. Things being thrown off shelves, off the bathtub ledge, from every surface imaginable. It doesn't end there. Soon the toilet looks like it's talking as the seat lifts up and down of its own accord. Next, the cupboard door opens as things continue to be thrown every which way. A heavy metal railing falls into view. It is unclear what it is, but judging by its likely weight, it had to be thrown with great force. Random items continue to fly around the bathroom, not just being toppled from their shelves, but thrown upward by an angry poltergeist, or more likely, geists. After watching this video, would you be able to brush your teeth here? I'd rather let them all rot. Number 6. Spirit of a Woman. Something is there in the darkness. Published by the spirit of a woman in an abandoned hospital. Upon entering the abandoned hospital, the crew breaks out the Kinect device, which in essence is a motion detector. They demonstrate its movement with one of the crew and then head inside. One of the first paranormal activities they encounter in the hospital is a door closing on its own. Only it doesn't just shut. The door handle moves repeatedly, which must mean someone is closing it from the other side.
Você pode dar um sinal pra gente? Tá aqui a porta! A porta aqui!
It continues to move even when it's closed, but when they go to open the door, no one is standing behind. They even kick it open, but nothing is there. Later, while using the Kinect, the device quickly picks up a figure moving. The figure appears to be leaning up against the wall, but when they turn on the light, the room is empty. They move to a hallway where loud bangs are heard. They're so loud that they appear to break ceiling tiles which fall from above.
Que foi? Tá frio! Uma coisa explodiu aqui! Vem pra cá!
They then attempt to speak to the spirit, which moves the table that their EMF meter is sitting on. As they continue to explore the place, a music box goes off, playing a dreamy, tinkly song.
Tem ninguém aqui, cara.
The crew finally decides to leave this haunted place and capture some footage while away. They place the camera on a hallway floor. This is when the fated patient finally shows up. You can see her creepy transparent figure winding its way down the hallway. She emerges at a distance and becomes clearer and clearer as she approaches, her dark hair swinging in her face, while she is dressed in all white. After the crew comes to retrieve their camera, they're standing in the doorway talking. It seems that the eternal patient has lost her patience, as behind him she slams on a door, prompting them to flee in fear. The poor woman just wants to be left alone. She wasn't in her past life, so why not this one? Number 5. Extreme caving. Caves are one of those curiosities people can't help but explore despite the dangers. This video was made by Exploring with Josh, and this time he's in Copper Mines Valley in England. The mines were first constructed during the reign of Elizabeth I and continued operating until the 1950s. Along with fellow explorers Dan, Matthew, and others, the group descends into one of the largest mines in the area. The entrance itself is tight and dripping with water. Just looking at the video, one can't help but feel how cold it must have been on that day, considering it was also the middle of winter. Their first obstacle is a large pit where they can't see the bottom. According to Dan, there is a second pit within, meaning you would be falling for some time before reaching the bottom. The footage Josh films as he crosses it is anxiety-inducing. The cave is enough to freak out people with claustrophobia, but also affects people afraid of heights as well. There's also something somewhat worse about not being able to see the bottom, not knowing how long it will last were you to make a misstep. Thankfully, Josh makes it across, albeit understandably slowly. Over the next pit, Dan warns the group not to move quickly over it, as the bridge is just a series of rusted pipes, who are simply pushed into the mud on each side. Josh's anxiety is clearly visible during the crossing, and you can tell all that is on his mind right at that moment is getting across. The amount of stories of people going missing, getting trapped in, or passing away in caves makes one wonder what drives people to keep exploring them, especially those without prior caving experience. Deep into the mine, the group discovers a truly amazing sight. The walls are lined with a deep green and steel color, which is actually rusted copper. After this, it cuts to Josh traveling from a cave into what looks like a copper mine shaft. Soon, they reach what appears to be a dead end, but Dan reveals it isn't, and there is a way past the rubble. Josh even seems apprehensive continuing on, questioning how safe it actually is, as old pieces of wood are all that is holding the rocks together. After some hesitation, they press on over the loose rocks and boulders. Now comes the worst part of their journey, a super tight squeeze. Josh pushes his way through the tight space towards his friends, who are thankfully there to help if something went wrong. Josh even explains that he felt panicked prior to going in. From here, they find what turns out to be a deep pool of water coming up past most of their knees, sometimes higher. Stories of trapped as a result of flooding makes this terrifying. On the other side, they find a similarly tight area that looks caved in, and it is here Josh feels content to stop just to be safe. As they exit the cave, Josh is surprised to see it's nighttime, leading to some sensory confusion. For those who are wanting to explore caves themselves, they must take heed of how dangerous caving can be. Professionals have passed away exploring caves and mines. If you do go, don't go alone, don't venture too deep, and make sure you don't press your luck. Number 4. Possessed baby monitor. It's either time to get a new nursery or a new baby monitor. Cosmic Days 3 on TikTok heard something unsettling in her baby's room at night. Posted in November of 2019. This recording occurred at 3 in the morning. The TikToker's son was 1 year old at the time. While the baby is crying in the background, a demonic sounding voice is heard. It sounds like it says the word forever, along with other indistinguishable grumblings. Some in the comments suggest moving the baby into her room until she figures out what's going on. Others suggest to get out of the house altogether. I think something paranormal definitely appears to be going on in this house. I just hope this family is alright until they can figure out this situation. Number 3. Skull-faced apparition. The craziest thing you might expect to capture on a nature camera is a close-up of some strange, rare animal. But this camera caught something more. Published by Scary and Mysterious Stuff in July of 2021, this scary, mysterious CCTV video will make you look twice. The camera is aimed at the dark wilderness at night. A creepy figure with a white skull-like face and a long red robe appears in the field. It first appears in the distance at the center, then it moves all around the field with clear breaks in the video, coming closer and closer to the camera. After coming too close for comfort, it disappears altogether. For the rest of the video, you're waiting for a jump scare that thankfully doesn't happen, but what did happen is already scary enough. What could this thing possibly be? I'm afraid this mystery will never be solved. Number 2. Haunted Mansion. Even beautiful things can be possessed. Published by Chelsea Luna in March of 2021. This eerily stunning haunted mansion has a resident ghost. This perfect picture home was abandoned in 2008, and Chelsea is here to explore it. While she's in this stunning living room with its old Victorian sofa, she hears a noise coming from somewhere out of sight.
Showing what it used to look like. So while we go through, what's that noise?
Later, Chelsea is in the cellar near a stairwell, and she asks the spirit to make the noise again. There's a faint knock, and then a much louder snapping noise behind her. As she comes across a very strange and creepy picture with someone locked behind a door, only their eyes visible through a slot, she asks the spirit if it was she or him that was locked away. The spirit finally answers, and a couple seconds later a whistle is heard.
Is that you?
Chelsea is then explaining some stories about the place to her viewers, and another loud noise is heard somewhere in the house.
These were just rumors, but we actually found
And later, while she attempts to speak to a spirit with a device, a faint female voice is heard either talking or singing.
Go. Was that you? Did you just push on my shoulder?
Chelsea pauses for a moment, clearly alarmed, and exploring the rest of the house. At one point, she heads outside to the balcony. While out there, she says it felt like someone pushed her. first place. But even as Chelsea and her partner head out to the grounds, something seems to be stalking them. She hears a growl off in the brush.
The girl had to go, okay? I'm not. What was that?
As they're wandering around what appears to be a mausoleum on the grounds, Chelsea comments that it sounded like someone is trapped inside. As her partner laughs in disbelief, the door rattles. Something is definitely in there trying to get out. They approach the mausoleum, but it is empty. They consider that there might be a trapped soul inside, perhaps the person whose haunting facts is originally from a Life of Luxury video. This creepy and scary video will haunt your nightmares. The clip is entitled, "This is why I still sleep in my parents' room." In a horrifying voice, something tells Lily to come into the closet and play. A couple bangs are then heard off screen. Sits up in the bed. She places her feet on the floor. Something moves beneath her, right next to her feet, as a strange groaning sound is heard. The thing beneath her bed then grabs her by the legs and drags her under. She is gone forevermore. This undeniably scary video probably made you check under the bed, right? Here's hoping you made